Hello, and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading Channel Charlie B, and welcome to my life. So take a look at this. This is actually a French fry maker, and I'm going to show it to you however I've been using to actually dice up potatoes. It's an antique. It says Maid of Honor. It has a little, like a girl in a dress on the side, and it says it's made in Holland. It's pretty cool, and the blades are really sharp. So I'm going to bring you down to my level so you can see what I'm doing and how this actually works. Hang on 1 second. Okay, as you can see, these are some of the French fries that I made up. They're really simple to do. I'm cutting the potatoes. Now, these are my potatoes that I got from the garden. So I'm just cutting them up and putting them in here. Oops, wrong way. Here we go. I'll pull this up, stick the potato in there, and I'm just going to push it out. It's really pretty nice, actually. Pull these guys out like this. I'm laying them. I either stand them up or I lay them down. Whatever works, whatever fits. It just makes them a uniform shape. I know I could probably do this faster if I was doing it by hand, but I wanted to try this out because I've never used it before. I bought it probably a year ago at a little meat market that was going out of business. It was being sold, and so they were selling all their stuff, and this was one of the antiques that I found, and I figured why not. So let me pull these out. And I'm just laying these down in so they'll be cubed. So what I'm making for dinner tonight is actually cabbage, pork, and potato soup. I'll probably also cut up some onions and put in there just for a little bit of flavor. See, I just have them right there. This normally would just cut out wonderful French fries. I put my hand over it to keep them down a little bit, and I just bring it up. Now some of them might pop out like what they're trying to do right now, but I don't want to hurt my hand, but I need them to go through it. There you go. I have my cubed potatoes. And I'll do the same again and just keep filling it up until they're all cubed. Okay, so we'll be back in a little bit once I start getting my cabbage and I get everything else cut up in order to go in the soup. Oh, the pork that I'm using is from the pork roast that I made, and nothing goes to waste around here, at least not if I can help it. So again, we'll be back. All right, so we cut up our potatoes, and I also cut up the onion. It was about one small one. Not a whole lot of onions I'm putting in there, just enough for flavor. There's probably 4 to 6 cups of potatoes in there. No, I did not measure. Excuse me, I've got onions and potatoes juice all over my hands and on my face. I got 1 head of cabbage, and I'm just going to take out the outer leaves and just chop this up. I'm going to bring you down so you can see what I'm doing. Just one nice cabbage head. Pulled off all the leaves. Not all the leaves. Just the ones that look like they were on the outside, maybe had some spots on them. I could actually clean these up, and I like cabbage as a snack. And once I get this cut up, I'm going to go ahead and throw it into a colander and rinse it off. Okay, so I got my big pot out, and what I'm going to throw in my pot first is just my onions and potatoes. And I have 1 head of lettuce, or not lettuce, sorry, cabbage, draining. I'm going to stick that in my pot. Now our next item, this is the rest of the pork roast that I had made. And I'm guessing it's probably about 3 cups of meat. It still has the juice in it from it, some of the collagen, and it still has some rosemary leaves in there. So we already have some seasoning put in here. And I am just going to take enough hot water to cover the items that are on here, that are in the pot. I'm rinsing out my bowl to make sure I get all my goody goodness from my seasonings, a little bit of the pork fat that's in there. And I'm just going to cover up my pots of veggies, which I'm not going to cover it up quite yet because I'm going to take this out to my old wood cook stove. So follow with me. Okay, we're out here at my old wood cook stove. It is hot, very hot. It is about 34 degrees outside, and it is about 78 inside on this porch. It's been cooking. Now, these burners are normally all solid, but this one actually comes in 3 different pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm pulling out 2 of them, and I'm going to set this pot. As you can see, I'm sure you can see that this thing is blazing. I threw a little piece of wood in there. I'm going to throw a couple more in just to get it even going harder. See if I can get one of these to go in here. I'm going to take the whole burner out. So slide that in there. Now what I can do, if it's not actually picking up enough, I can add more to it. But I'm going to set my pot with 2 of the pieces gone on so it'll get hotter faster, and then I can bring it down to more of a simmer. Okay. Hello all. I got my pitcher of water. Now this is going over all the potatoes and stuff. The pork roast is sitting in the center. And I am going to, yes, bring you over to that. There you go. That's what our baby looks like. So I'm going to get the lid for it, close that up. I'm going to smash up the pork roast, tear it apart a little bit more as it cooks. It will separate itself, but I don't want the potatoes and the onions to burn, so I need to get this stirred up and mixed in. Okay, as you can see, I found my lid. I got a big stir here. So I'm just going to start swinging this around, moving the meat down, getting the potatoes up off the bottom, getting a little bit of the pork grease down in there to help coat any of the potatoes. Now for the spices, I haven't really decided which one it will actually, or which ones, if I put anything at all in there. I usually just, cabbage has such a good sweet flavor. Might just do a little bit more salt and pepper. And to go from there, along with the rosemary. And I will definitely add some garlic to that. So I'm going to go cut up some cloves. Like this is starting to get hot and cook, and we'll be back. Let's see how our fire is doing. I want to make sure it's good and hot. So let's get our door open. And as you can see, I could probably slide a few more pieces of wood in there, smaller pieces. You want to get the fire going good so you can see about how thick it is. Yeah, you probably got a picture of my hair there. And this one. Get that thing perking, going good. There we go. We got it stacked and it's going hard. Or it will be going hard. All right. As you can see, I've got some really good flames over here. So I'm going to move this pot right over there. That sets perfect in that hole just for a few minutes. Because I really want to get a little bit of heat underneath that pot so I can get it cooking good. But that pot fits absolutely perfect. So the flames are right under it. I couldn't be getting any better. I'll be, I'm sure, moving it here shortly, just as soon as I get a good boil going. It won't take long. We've got a good boil going, so I'm going to literally pull this to another burner and close that one up. Woo! That got hot, and then some. So let's get that burner covered up. Pray we don't burn ourselves. You see how nice and hot that is, and it's still boiling. I'm going to move it down another burner because now I just want it to start to simmer. So I'm just going to let it simmer for the next hour, 2. I will be moving it down to the other burner, even do less of a boil. Just want it to be simmering just enough to get the flavors going. But what I'm going to do before I do that, I could do it afterwards, but hey, let's do it right now. I'm going to take just some pepper. Give it a good sprinkle. So the next item I'm going to put in is just a little bit of garlic powder. Now the reason I'm using garlic powder is because I went to use my fresh garlic and it had all just went dried up and ooey. Not the kind of dried up you want to. Not yummy, ooey. So I'm just sprinkling some garlic powder in. Lots of steam coming up. I'm going to give that a good stir. And then I'm going to slide it down to another burner so it will even be more of a simmer. And it's very hot out here. Very, very, very hot out here. In case you didn't see or you did see, these feet belong to my husband, which is hiding behind. There he goes. He's waving. He's saying hi. He's waiting for dinner. It's a rainy, yucky night out, so we're sitting out here by the stove, keeping warm and cooking dinner.
Smells good.
Well, we've got a nice simmer going, and I am going to add about a tablespoon of salt to this because I tasted it and I taste no salt flavor at all. And set this down. I use, just the pink Himalayan salt. It's Kirkland brand. I get it from Costco. And I'm going to take some of my thyme, however you want to pronounce it, and just sprinkle it right in the top there. And this came from my garden. It's in my Ziploc baggies. So I'm going to take you over so you can see what it's looking like right now. And there we go. We're going to get that stirred in. The roast is breaking up nicely, and I'm just letting this simmer and letting the flavors marry. Get that lid back on. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, here we go. So this is how I do it. I do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, I just take my chunk of butter on top of my cornbread. I do this with my butter or with my regular bread and also with my biscuits. I just take the chunk of butter, pull it out, just do it old style. Now this is melting when you hit the sides, so it'll actually slide down into the sides also. And that probably helps it come out a little bit. So there you go. And what really makes the cornbread good, take a little bit of honey, just a little squirt right like this. And I'm going to do some painting. I'll let this sit and cool for a few minutes. Get my soup in here from that stove, from the old antique wood cook stove. Because yes, we is cooking with fire and wood. Be back shortly. So here is my plate, and let's take a taste of the soup. Take a taste of the broth. It's very hot. Very nice, good flavors. Definitely, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Let's get some cabbage and some meat on my spoon here. Try not to burn my nose or my mouth, not my nose. Flavors are all very good together. And of course, I gotta try some cornbread. Stick in a little bit of juice. Or we could just go ahead and put a lot of butter on it, which is what I'm going to do here in a minute. So, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to help this channel, like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. So, I'll be seeing you soon. Charlie B, signing out.